Hey guys, what's up? This is Panzer Dragon, and today we'll be going over the top 5 best supports for solo queue for patch 4.12. Recently, there hasn't been much changes to support, like barely any, but I do feel that tanky supports are like the best supports right now. But of course, there are still good AP supports, and with that in mind, let's get started. And at number 5, we do have Zyra. So I feel that Zyra is pretty strong, but obviously I feel the tanky supports are better right now. And she's actually like one of those supports who can actually carry the game by herself, just because of the things she can do. And in the lane, she just has so much damage, like her combo, her skill shots, whatever, do pretty decent damage, but combined with the plants, they just create so much zoning potential. They do a lot of damage if the enemy stays around it, and just yeah, she's like another threat in lane that you have to watch out for since she does do a lot of damage. And right here is the biggest thing. Her mid-game team fighting, whatever you call it, he just provides a lot of damage and CC. Like if anyone wants to engage your team, you can just put your ult down and all of a sudden they're going to get knocked up, and it's perfect for your team to re-engage onto that. Like I think the ultimate radius is really huge and it creates a lot of zoning onto the enemy team, and so if the enemy team really wants to engage onto Zyra, they're asking for a death wish. Even then, her utility is not her biggest strength. Her biggest strength is the damage she outputs. Like her plants, holy cow, they do so much damage if you stay around. And if she starts building somewhat AP or gets like Liandry's, she becomes her own threat and is like a carry support. She's a threat in team fights as well as other carries, and it's just another thing to deal with, which can be annoying. And if you focus her in team fights and just burst her down, she already got her Stranglethorn combo onto you, and her plants are probably still alive, so her job is done. But of course, she's really squishy in lane. That's the only thing I really don't like about her. So if they focus her and it's like a tanky support going onto her, she's probably gonna die and she won't pick up any kills. Other than that, she's a pretty good support. And at number 4, we do have Leona. So I do feel that Leona is pretty good with the amount of CC and pick potential that she has. Also that she is really tanky, and her mid game of course is pretty darn good. And you know, the reason I didn't really include her in the last patch was because I felt like AP supports were the most dominant supports right now. But I can see that, well, tanky is usually the better choice to go. So yeah, in lane, her trade potential is really good if you can go for extended trades. And yeah, she's actually really good against AD carries who don't have an escapes like Kog'Maw or Jinx, etc. All these long range AD carries. But of course, there are some cons for Leona, as in lane she can get poked down if she kind of just sits back, which kind of sucks, and she can't really do much to protect her AD carry, and she kind of falls off late game. But overall, she's a really good champ. Alright, so third is Morgana. Alright, so what makes her so strong? Well, she does have really good poke with her Q, which also does lead to a hard engage, and really right now, the supports who have hard CC are like the best supports. She also has a black shield that makes someone immune to CC. This means you can have a super fed Riven or someone in that genre and make them the super bruiser since they are immune to CC. And generally, Morgana is really easy to use, so if you're noob like me at support champions, you can use her. And you'll just be as efficient as you were as any other support. Again, her pick potential is really good since her Q does last for 3 seconds. She's also really good at peeling since she does have black shield to make them immune from CC and can peel with ulti plus her Q. And some cons of her is that if you don't really land your Q in lane, you're not going to have that much presence in lane as you would if you were another champion. But if you do land a binding onto the enemy carry, it is very rewarding as you do have really good trade potential with your art carry onto the enemy. Overall, she is really good for solo queue, especially if you don't know how to play support. She also kinda counters the tanks in a way since they can't really CC her AD carry. And at number 2, we do have Thresh. So Thresh has always been a top tier pick because he literally does everything. Like, you can consider Thresh having 6 skills, because you can use Thresh's skills very differently in situations that no one else can do. For example, his Q. It can lock someone down, and if you want to be more aggressive with it, you can go to the position where the person you hooked was, and now the lantern. So if someone is in a sticky situation, you can lantern them out, and now they aren't in a sticky situation anymore. And on the aggressive side, you can lantern someone in, and then they can help you gank someone, or something like that. And then you have Thresh's Flay. It can be used aggressively or passively, depending on how you use it. If you are trying to engage on somebody, then you obviously flay someone towards your team. And if you're trying to peel for your carry and trying to disengage, then you just knock him back and tell him, no, enough is enough. And then the same goes for his box. You can use it aggressively, trap someone in the box and they can't get out. Or if you're trying to appeal for your team, then you can plant the box in somewhere where the enemy team has to run through so they can't keep going to your team. Oh, and to top it off, he is a range support whose autos do hurt, and he could be built pretty beefy if needed. The only con I see Thresh having is he doesn't really have this big AoE ultimate, and some of his stats were nerfed previously in the past. But overall, he's a good champ who can actually use the Relic Shield too. And at number 1 is still Braum. So this guy is still OP, despite his little nerf. He has that 1.75 second stun. He has a free Alistar ult on his E, which is on a 2-second downtime and a 4-second uptime if you have 40% CDR. He has a Q that can sort of soft engage and makes it really good peeling to us since it is a 70% slow. And he does have decent mobility with his W since he can just, jump to people. And his ultimate is pretty decent. It's like a Rumble ult combined with, Malphite's ult. So yeah, he's pretty good, and of course he can just break damage with protecting his carries, but honestly it's not all about the utility that it brings, it's honestly the numbers on him, like the stun, 1.75 seconds, holy cow, that's a lot. The 40% damage reduction on a 4-second uptime and a 2-second downtime. His Q damage is actually pretty bursty, not gonna lie. It's on a 6-second cooldown and does, 240 damage plus some of his maximum health. And yeah, like his utility is not as much as someone like Thresh. It's just his numbers are so goddamn high and what makes him good right now. And that's probably why you just see him banned every game, because right now he's OP. Now you might be asking, why was Nami removed? Honestly, it's because of Yasuo and Braum. A good placed Yasuo wall or a good placed shield by Braum will just negate the effect of her ultimate, and it isn't really that hard to counter. And so by nullifying her ultimate, which is really easy to do, she's going to be weaker in teamfights and won't have a big impact like other supports. But basically, she's still good support if she's not up against Yasuo or Braum. Now Alistar right now is actually pretty decent, he's definitely viable, but right now I can't say for sure how good he is since there hasn't been much time since the new patch and people are just kind of trying him out. But from the looks of it, I think he's a pretty good support. He's definitely really good mid-game once he gets there, as he does have lots of CC, and once he turns level 6 he's pretty scary since he can turret dive really easily. And the mana buffs did help him a lot since he get one more rotation with his WQ combo in say lane or mid-game. Anyways, thank you for watching my video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and comment below, and check out my other tier list right here on what champions I think is the best for patch 4.12. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.